Revooze in black and white. I am Bane and this is D'Amico to my right. Today we got a couple of Irish whiskies for you.
Oh yeah.
Today we got a couple of whiskies that kind of have a connection to each other. Yeah, weirdly. I mean, they're both from Ireland. One's actually sold here in the States primarily. And one is sold worldwide.
Of course.
We're going to start you off with Jameson. Everybody knows Jameson. Well, not everybody's had it, but I'm sure if you haven't had it, you know about it.
Yeah.
Jameson basically started back in like 1780 from a Scottish lawman.
That's right. I forgot that the Irish whiskey came from a Scot.
It came from a Scotsman. Oh, yes. 1780 it started. They're huge. They sell millions of cases. Getting down to the nitty gritty, we're talking about the local. It's a bar here in Minnesota, and recently they were named the top seller for Jameson Irish whiskey. Sold about
4 years in a row.
4 years in a row, yeah. They were selling about 22 bottles a day, and they kept that up for approximately 4 years. Yeah, definitely. So what you're looking at here is a nice Irish whiskey. I've had it before.
We all have.
We've all had it. You know, it's kind of on the sweet side of the whiskeys.
Sure.
What you're getting is 40% alcohol by volume. You're getting malted barley blended in with green Irish barley. So that's where you're getting that light, nice sweet characters coming through. And yeah, we're going to set up against this next one here. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, light. Definitely getting the sweet. Some honey notes out of it.
Oh, definitely.
Butterscotch, some nuttiness almost.
Huge with the butterscotch.
Yes.
That is the key factor. The key factor to this nose is the butterscotch.
Butterscotch and caramel. A little vanilla. On a stretch. And I mean, like, someone that can sniff a whiskey will probably pick up some oats. Not quite like the fresh, oats, but like the big container of the Quaker oats. Open the big thing and you get a little dusting of that.
Yeah, you get major dust usually if you do that, but yeah, I can definitely smell that.
Very aromatic.
Very much so.
Sweet. A hint of spice, but definitely the butterscotch, the caramel, that maltiness, a little bit of the maltiness. It's not super apparent or forward, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
But it's there.
The maltiness is actually kicking me right at the finish. But yeah, the sweetness is. This is probably the sweetest whiskey I've ever had. Yeah, I didn't break open that George Nickel yet.
We gotta do that next. Yeah, man.
This is so far the sweetest whiskey. The sweetest. I can't even say it.
The sweetest whiskey.
The sweetest whiskey I have ever had.
This is only our 3rd episode, man. Come on. You want some water?
Yeah, definitely.
Typically, something this light, I probably wouldn't add water to it, but I wanted to see if it would open up, and how much it would open up, if at all.
Yeah, it definitely makes it easier to see what's in there as far as finding the characteristics. It kind of spreads it open.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
It did lighten it up even more, but I'm getting a lot more of the barley, a lot more of the agricultural product out of it.
The sweet component that kind of sticks is probably the caramel. That's pretty much all I'm getting. That's really kind of sticking after
caramel, vanilla,
and I'm sure those who kind of throw a couple of Douse it with ice.
Sure.
I know you guys are doing that out there. Yeah, you'll probably kind of get that too as well, even though that ice is gonna close it up a bit.
Yeah, I probably couldn't justify putting this on the rocks. Price wise, absolutely. But it's already so light to me. I think honestly, some water, a good splash or two of water, will open that up for you. Especially if you're at a bar or whatever, drinking it neat. Some bars charge you a couple bucks more. Just get a couple of splashes of water. I mean, it'll open up nicely for you if you can't handle drinking it neat. I'm getting something a little different too. This is after the water, the last little remnants of the glass. But the skin of a peach.
Whoa.
I know it's really
Whoa.
weird, but picture a young peach, a white peach, and if you can just figure peeling it, you're not getting much of the meat or the fruit of the peach, but just the skin of it, that essence, just a little bit of that. Kind of, I don't know why I know that, but I have had peach skin before. It's kind of weird. Whatever. But I'm getting a hint of it after the water, at the very, 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 very finish of this whiskey.
I can say I'm not getting that, but my palate is definitely not as well tamed as yours.
Well tamed.
Well
I like
tamed.
that.
Yeah, you tamed your palate. You know
I
what's
have.
going on.
Yeah.
Mine's wild. I have
And
no
you
idea what's
too.
going on.
Well, we're gonna do this together. Everybody, we're gonna train everyone's palate to be able to taste their product, whether it be wine, beer, or whiskeys, or any spirit. It's more of being able to equate different flavors to things that you've had in your past, foods, and different smells or senses. You kind of, you can smell it. Like you smell go on a really cold day. Listen to me stumbling. You go on a really cold day, especially here in Minnesota. It gets 0, 10, 15 below zero. You go outside and there's a different smell. And you can equate that to certain foods or beverages, and it's one of those things that pops up in your memory. It happens.
What
That's
he's
how
saying is smell everything.
smell everything. Yes. Except for skunks.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't think you really have a choice.
No,
If you're in the proximity, you're going to smell it.
That's true.
So go ahead and rate this.
You know what? I'm going to rate this. I'll give this 75 points. It is a decent Irish whiskey. I'm not the biggest fan of Irish whiskeys. They do a good job on some of them. But this one is pretty standard to me. I've had it many, many times. It's just an average.
Okay. Yeah. On a 100-point scale, I'm kind of right with you.
Okay.
I'm kind of right with you. It's one of those whiskeys. It's so sweet. I probably would get sick of it after a while. I don't drink it a lot. I have it once in a great while, and it's fine. It's fine. I don't mix it. I try to drink it straight if I can, and it's at that price point too, where I probably wouldn't throw ice in it for sure. So you know what? I'll bump it up from you. I'll go 78.
Sure.
So, all right.
Yeah. 75, 78. They're average scores. They're decent scores for a whiskey.
It's industry standard for sure.
What I would tell you guys that really aren't into the point scale of things, I got this from our good friend Jason. Jason, what up? Hope you're watching. I would call this a Monday through Thursday whiskey. Actually, you know what? Mondays kind of suck for some of us. We might want to have a little bit higher standards for the Mondays anyway. I would go Tuesday through Thursday whiskey for this one. Just run of the mill. You can drink it all day, whatever. Not a big deal. and you bust out something better for Friday, something even better for Saturday, and depending on where you're at or who you are, you might want to go even higher on a Sunday just to kick back and relax.
If you ever woke up Sunday.
Exactly. Depending on how Saturday night went. But yeah, Tuesday through Thursday, whiskey for me. I think most of you guys will enjoy it.
Sure.
Shall we jump over to the
Moving
two
on.
gingers?
Yeah.
Kieran's two gingers. Kieran was one of the owners or co-owners. I should probably research that, but I did. Of the Bane was talking about the bar.
The local.
The local. He was actually one of their owners, so I'm pretty sure, but don't quote me on this, guys, that he figured, or somebody in his camp figured, we sell so much of somebody else's product. Why don't we try our hand at it, and we can be pocketing all this money?
Oh, 22 bottles a day.
22 bottles a day at a bar. Like, this is not a store where you can walk in and buy a bottle. You're paying for it shot by shot. So think about that, you guys.
Sure, and I think this guy actually had a couple of bars. Kieran's Irish Pub is another one.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure on the third.
He had another one too. I don't remember the name of it. Maybe someone will leave a comment.
He has since sold those, or at least part of it, to start up this venture.
Yep.
So.
Two Gingers Irish whiskey. This is what he came up with. They went to Ireland, contracted, actually one of the oldest, actually the oldest independent distillers left in Ireland. Cooley. Cooley's actually makes a lot of different whiskeys, and a lot of them you guys will recognize. We'll talk about those at a later date. We're going to focus on the two gingers now. This is aged 4 years. It's a little suspect to me because of how dark it is and only 4 years. But it was aged in sherry casks. So you're going to get a lot more of that color, the sweetness, hopefully the aromatics, the nuttiness. But I think this is their first batch for retail. And they're calling it their Founders Series, I believe, something like that. I don't believe it comes out, if it is going to come out even nationwide, till sometime mid-January is what I've been kind of reading. So, sorry if you guys can't get it yet.
Yeah, but it's got a great local base.
For sure.
This is a really hot product for us right now.
People are raving about this like crazy in Minnesota. We figured we'd do some justice and try to sample it out and see what we like and throw our little 2 cents into the pot, see what happens.
And I think we got people commenting that we should be tasting this too. So thanks for those comments. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. See, we actually do read the comments. This is proof.
We take a long time to react. No, just
kidding. Okay.
It's a different nose.
Yes, it is. Major caramel or caramel, whatever you want to call it. But a little of the nuttiness. If you guys have never had the sherry wine, I apologize, but I'm definitely getting a little bit of that dried fruit, nuttiness, little butterscotch, vanilla, burnt sugar component that you get from a sherry. And that's probably proof positive of why they aged it in the sherry barrels.
Right. I'm getting a whole hell lot of oak. A little bit of that nuttiness for sure. The sherry's, I'm not getting too much of that.
No?
But yeah, definitely.
That dry orange peel. Just an essence. Just that spiciness.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Boy.
Not bad. It definitely doesn't have that sweet component, which...
No, it doesn't smell as sugar-fied as the Jameson.
Right. Not bad nose. I'm going to dive into this.
Go for it.
Heavy nuttiness. not to the point of an amaretto or anything, but yeah, just the oak, the nuttiness, nose to palate, pretty comparable. Same thing, parallel, I should say. Pretty smooth, not too bad. I know I've coated my mouth with the Jameson already, so I'm not getting that initial sting. But yeah, even so, it's very smooth.
I would agree. But when you get to the mid palate, at least for me, I'm definitely get that orange spice. That don't get me wrong, it's not orange flavored, but if again the dried orange peel, really dried orange peel, the woodiness from the cask, it's a good thing because I am picking up on those sherry notes. I'm still a little suspect about how dark this is. So they're probably, I mean, with only 4 years age, they're probably adding some serious caramel coloring to it. But you don't have to worry about that. You know, it's only
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there.
coloring. So it's not, I mean, it's completely odorless, it's completely tasteless, so you don't have to worry about that. But we as Americans think that the darker the whiskey, the better, and that couldn't be further from the truth, honestly. So 2 gingers, if you're adding the caramel, cut it out. It's not necessary, especially if you're going to go with a clear bottle. Yeah, it's so not necessary.
Now, I've heard from many people that this is, and actually it says right on the back of the bottle, this is made for kind of mixing with
For sure.
that ginger ale.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was their signature drink at that bar. The big ginger is what they called it. You know, I had the opportunity to try the big ginger. It was okay. Wasn't anything to write home about. But I decided to kick it up a notch. I went with the I don't know if it's a nationwide thing. It probably is. The Gosling's ginger beer.
No.
If you guys can find the ginger beer instead of the ginger ale, completely different animal. I seriously would consider going down to the local and making them try it with the ginger beer instead of the ginger ale. It's a little bit more expensive, but it is so much worth it.
Not by much. I mean, you know, you're looking at about what a can, about $1.25.
$1.25, $1.45, something
And I suppose
like
for
that.
ginger ale, you're looking at about $1.50
For a 2 liter.
for a 2 liter. Yeah, a little bit more, but I tell you what, yeah, the stuff they use in Dark and Stormy, it is.
Yeah.
If you like ginger, you're gonna love this stuff.
It's way better.
First time I had it, I was like, what the hell? That is so strong. But yeah, definitely give it a try. Do you have a can of that?
Mm-hmm.
You should definitely try that out here.
I just put a splash of water in it. It did open it up a bit more. A little more of that Jameson sweetness is kind of coming through.
Yeah.
I would love to know what kind of sherry barrels they're using. If they're using a Muscatel or Oloroso. It's got that nuttiness to it, and a little bit more of that spice is starting to come through after the water. This is a decent product. There was so much hype here in Minnesota for this whiskey that people were talking about, and they were comparing it to whiskeys that I know are $500, $600, even $1,000 a bottle, and it's like, stop. If they're selling it for $20, it can't be anywhere near that. I'm sorry, but tasting it, it's nothing near that. But I can see where they're going after the Jameson market with this product.
Yeah, sure. No, it is. It's wonderful. It brings about that nuttiness.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty smooth. It would make for a great mixer, and it's at that price point too. That $20 price point is pretty nice. Where you, it's maybe a little high for a mixer, but I think it's still kind of in that realm, I guess.
Yeah. Because this is what, $7.50? Yeah, this is a 750 milliliter. So yeah, and
actually $20 is on the low side.
Yeah.
Because I believe you can find it for about 25.
I've seen it upwards of 30.
Oh wow. Okay.
But I think those stores, naughty, are price gouging because it is such a popular product right now in Minnesota, and it's really hard to find now. So some of these shady ass shop owners, yes, I said it, shady ass shop owners are gouging. Stop that. Yeah. Stop it, because it will come back to you. And if I find out, I'm smacking that ass, believe me.
Oh my God.